Hiya, folks. This is Rick Amateur Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leva Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace. I know, that was already said. But actually, here we are. Hi, I am TbT.
Barely.
That guy over there is Ace. Welcome to episode 177 of the Weekly Pour podcast. We are broadcasting live with a boisterous 68 degrees. Hopefully you are watching us live on the YouTubes, or you are listening to us after the show has aired live, because that's what we do. We do things live. We do things so live that with like 10 seconds left, this show almost didn't happen because everything shut down. So
what did you do?
I took a breath, I guess. Everything shut down, and I'm immediately texting you saying, come back, because for whatever reason it shut down. There was an update. When I was preparing for this, there was an update that required a download and a relaunch. I have a feeling that this update is what caused the crash. It crashed, but luckily everything was still going. And as I can see over here to my right, the show is still going. So it's here. Yeah, I got to take something off of the screen.
Me again?
No, you're still there. I had to take something. So I can't see. So with graphics, there are certain graphics that are placed in the corners of the show. And I just removed one. And for whatever reason, it appears that it's still there, but I'm hoping it disappears, but it probably won't. I'm going to take one and I'm going to move it. Maybe. I don't know. See, this is the perils of doing things live. You never know what kind of screwed up things you're going to have.
You do it on the fly. You do it on the fly.
Well, I mean, sort of. Yeah. I mean, that's why sometimes we get Michael Jackson popping in and see, there we go. I don't know how. I don't know where he comes from, but there he is. Just like any other time with this show, we are live, like we tell you on the YouTubes. We have our chat up and running. There's a few people in already. Of course, number one is Mama TbT, who said she was there first, but technically she wasn't. Even though she said she forgot to hit send, I don't know if I'm buying that excuse. But still, Mama TbT's there, Mrs. TbT, and of course a few others. And moderator extraordinaire, Natalie, who will kick your ass right out of this show if you start making fun of her hair.
What's wrong with her hair?
No. You'll get kicked. You don't say anything.
It's my show.
Ah, true that. You know, there's something else that I'm going to do something. I'm going to push a button real quick. I don't know what it's going to do. We're going to find out. It's not going to do anything to the audio. It's just going to be something that shows up. Okay, so that one's still there. There's another one. If you're watching this on the YouTube, at the very bottom right, you will see a little logo that sits there. I thought I got rid of that, but apparently that is something that YouTube has placed in the corner of the video. It's one of our older logos, and I got to figure out how to get rid of it. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to put the middle logo that has our phone number. I wanted to put that over there, but apparently, I can't. At least not today. Again, perils of doing things live. But whatever. We are here. It is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. 68 degrees here in South Central Indiana. It's fantastic. Beautiful. Yesterday was 55. I mowed my grass on Friday. I just want you to know that. I started your way and then I turned around.
Yeah. Oh, I thought maybe you ran out of gas.
No, I got to the end of the driveway and said, I really don't have enough gas for this.
Right.
So
I will pay for gas. I will pay for you to come out.
Natalie's already commented on your backdrop. She appreciates it. She likes it.
Thank you.
And just like she put up on the screen, if you're interested in sending us a voicemail or sending us a text in the middle of this show or any time between shows, send us one. It's area code 747-333-8977. Or as those people in the military say, 8977.
Why?
I don't know. Niner. Because 9 and 5 sound alike, and you don't say fiver. You say niner. So
what's the 747 area code?
I don't know, but when I picked the number, it sounded really cool because it was 747, and it's a big ass plane. And Natalie caught it. She said, "Did I just hear a niner?" Roger. Name that movie. You're looking up 747, aren't you?
Yeah. San Fernando Valley.
Which is where we are broadcast out of. The signal bounces from South Central Indiana over to wherever you just said.
Burbank.
Oh, yeah. That's where, I mean, it's part of LA. You know, it's a region of LA, and we're LA famous.
It's the Valley.
Yes. Because we're definitely not Valley girls. We got a lot of stuff to get into this week. We'll get into that here shortly. We got some news coming at you from Bret Michaels. There's some stuff from Rikki Rockett. So we're talking some Poison stuff going on. Alice Cooper has a brand new guitarist. No, Nita Strauss isn't gone forever. She just wants to go have a baby, as far as we know. He's got a new one. We've got some stuff from the Black Crowes. We have a follow-up to our episode. If we get to it, we have a follow-up to our last story from last week's episode, where we thought somebody was being stalked by somebody else. Turns out it wasn't who we thought it was, or maybe hoped it was. It's not. We'll get into it, but it's not her. I think I already said it. We've got some stuff about the Black Crowes and a quick little snippet, if you will, from Twisted Sister, or would that be Sebastian's sister or Twisted Bach?
Twisted Bach sounds badass.
I like that. It could work. But we'll get into all those stories here shortly. We're only, I don't even know how far we are in
9
the
minutes.
show. 9 minutes. Actually, it's probably more like 7 since we were like off the air for a very short period of time. I don't know. Did you have a good week?
Yes. Yeah. It's been busy, but yes, it's been good. It's been good, except for pool problems. Every year, there's always something, right?
Freaking cold still.
We want to open it early. I have to tell you this every time.
I know.
Yeah. So we've had a new pump put on.
Right.
And we're struggling now with the pump.
Did you plug it in?
Yeah. Yes, it's plugged in. We're struggling, and we know how to work pool stuff.
Yes,
we're especially my wife. She's really, really good at this stuff, and we just could not get this thing going last night. I mean, it ran until I got out there. I went out first to get things started, and then ever since then it hasn't run.
Do you do like I do, and when you start something as a husband, as a father, and at some point you just turn and you're like, damn it, I can't get this. Even though you know you can, but that is your cue to get help?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I probably should not have let that secret out because that's what guys do. It's what we do. I cannot get this. Dude, I couldn't find my sunglasses one morning. Same thing. I can't find my sunglasses. I'm ticked off. I'm leaving. Hold on. And she found them. I didn't know where they were, but that's what we do.
Yeah, because that would have been different if you knew where they were and you're still playing this game.
Right.
I just want help.
Did you get the help? Did you get it fixed?
No, we're at an impasse at the moment. We've done everything that we can think of to diagnose this problem. I have messaged the installer, and the installer will get with me tomorrow to see what we can do.
Right, because you told him, no, I can't do anything on Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I just did it 15, 20 minutes ago.
Well, that would be a good reason.
And said, get with me tomorrow. And he said, okie dokie. I'm hearing that a lot lately from people.
Literally the words okie and dokie?
Okie dokie. Someone messaged me, a friend of mine messaged me that one day, and I thought that person was being sarcastic, like angry.
Being a smart
I'm like, hey, how are things going? Okie dokie.
That reminds me of a Key and Peele skit. And it was the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing that happens to every relationship, every person that talks. You send a text, you don't know the inflection. You don't know what they're trying to say.
No. One of my rules is you can't tell the tone of a text.
Right.
You can make assumptions, but you can't really tell a tone.
Exactly. Like if I'm trying to be funny, I will end every text with LOL.
Right. Or if you're serious and just don't want to make someone mad, you say LOL.
My favorite to send is salts. SALTS. Salts.
And that is?
Snorted a little, then stopped.
Tell me you made that up.
Okay. I did. But it works better than LOL all the time. You just say, oh, salts. And people are like, what the hell does that mean? Snorted a little, then stopped.
No.
Yeah. It's funny. Unless you just can't go salts LOL. You snorted a little, then stopped, laughed out loud. Oh, which is it? Which did you do? It's confusing. I just salts right there.
But then I found out the person was not being sarcastic. They were genuinely saying okie dokie. And then I've heard it from someone else a week ago and then today. And I'm like, where's this okie dokie coming from? Where?
Have I ever texted you that? Okie dokie?
I don't think so.
I'm going to.
Okie dokie.
I'm choking. Thank goodness I have a mute button right there because I just about choked everywhere. Oh, salts. See, get you every time. That's almost as good as the talking about John Holmes last week.
Hey, I wanted to message you and tell you that if you didn't turn that into a TikTok clip, you're an idiot.
I totally should. I do.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Natalie just said you can put at the end of a thing, instead of saying salt, you can put safety. I'm not even going to repeat what it says because that's the corniest thing I've ever seen. Salts.
But it's not true. I don't do that.
No. I don't end it with yep.
And now I got a notification on an email similar to what she just said.
Oh.
What is going on?
I don't know. But this is what we normally do. This is the normal first start of this show. We waste 15 minutes just talking about nonsense before we get into the news. So you're welcome. As a reminder, I've already put it in the chat, and I'm sure moderator Natalie has as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and make sure you hit subscribe. Hitting subscribe and that thumbs up helps us out because it gives us a little bit more attention, and that's what we need. If you happen to be listening to this after the fact, whether it be on YouTube or it's on Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts, be sure to leave us a review. 4 stars and above. We do not accept anything under 4 stars. Don't even try it because you'll get booted. So yeah, leave us a review. It helps us, and it helps us help you. It gives us the ability to put our icons where the hell we want them on the screen. Sort of. And apparently I get fired every day. Let's just screw all this. We're going to jump into some news because we actually have quite a bit. Some of the biggest news, I guess, of the week, other than the Alice Cooper thing, which we're going to spend a little bit more time on. As we have mentioned numerous times on this podcast, quite a few episodes, especially over the course of the last year, we've been mentioning how there was no tour that was going to happen with Poison to celebrate the 40th anniversary of their Look What the Cat Dragged In tour.
Not this year.
Right. There were rumors that it was because Bret was asking for too much money. It was because, dates had already been selected by other bands. It just wasn't going to work out. Bottom line, who cares? It doesn't matter because if they didn't plan it correctly, then it just didn't happen. Right. The good news, though, is that founding Poison drummer Rikki Rockett has announced nearly a dozen shows where he and his band will pay tribute to Look What the Cat Dragged In by Poison by performing the entire LP with his new band, which is called the Rockett Mafia. This year, 2026, of course, marks the album's 40th anniversary, and it included hits like Talk Dirty to Me, I Want Action, Cry Tough, and of course the album's title cut, Look What the Cat Dragged In. According to Rikki Rockett, he says playing Poison's first album with the Rockett Mafia is a full circle moment for him, saying it's raw, it's fun, and it's exactly how those songs were meant to be heard. Celebrating the 40th anniversary is really about giving the fans a chance to relive that moment with them, being the Rockett Mafia. There are a total of, 12 dates?
No, not that many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 dates have been announced so far, and they're kind of all over the place. It's going to kick off May 21st in McHenry, Illinois, then up to Cadillac, Michigan on May 22nd, followed by 1, 2, 3 shows in various places in Texas, including Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio, before they go to the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood, California on August 14th, followed by the Grand Theater in Tracy, California, and then back 18 days later, 15 days later, whoever, Columbus, Ohio at the King of Clubs, followed by Detroit, Michigan, August 29th. And then, as of right now, ending these dates in Umatilla, Oregon at Rock the Locks Festival. That'll be September 27th. Between the last date and the next to last date, there's actually almost an entire month in between there. So with that, and no shows marked in July, there's a very good possibility that more dates will be added later on. Rockett Mafia, of course, is an impressive lineup of veteran musicians with, of course, Rikki Rockett on drums. Brandon Gibbs does vocals and guitar. Of course, he's from Devil City Angels. Stacy Blades from LA Guns is on guitar and backing vocals. And Tyson Leslie is on bass and backing vocals as well. So if you were looking forward to that Look What the Cat Dragged In 40th anniversary tour, you're going to go have to see Rockett Mafia. However, we do have some additional news on this potential 40th anniversary tour, as it may end up being the 40+1 tour. A recent
40+1.
Yeah. That's 41. Imagine that. Poison frontman Bret Michaels, who of course is the lead singer for Poison, of course, he stated recently, I think it was on Eddie Trunk. He was on Eddie Trunk recently. And he basically said that it looks like they're hoping that they're going to commemorate the 41st anniversary of the band's debut album in 2027. A quote from Bret Michaels is that we're hoping for 27 because I know it's a big question. I think really strong 27, without going into details, of course, is going to be a good reunion tour for Poison. I think it's going to be awesome. And then, of course, there's all the talk about what we already mentioned with, the back and forth and not being who cares? Maybe they just couldn't get anything worked out.
Right.
The amount of solo shows that Bret has, he probably had everything booked up for 2026 and could not dedicate the time needed for a 2026 tour with Poison.
Right. And you may be right on that. What's he call that? His
it's
little,
like Party Gras or something like
Party
that.
Gras. Party Gras has been pretty popular. And he wants to continue doing that. And he may have already had stuff lined out, not maybe booked per se, but ready to go in the hopper, ready to schedule. And it wasn't going to fit. I listened to the interview, and he was pretty optimistic he can make it happen in 2027, the 40th anniversary.
41st.
But leave it to them to do it on the 41st, right?
It's odd. It's awkward.
But yeah, he was very optimistic that he could make it happen, and I think it will. He seemed to want it to happen. It's just timing. It's timing. He of all the guys in Poison, he's the busiest.
Yeah, with Rikki
far.
running a close second.
But other than that, I don't know what Bobby Dahl does. I don't know what CC does.
I know CC is heavily involved with, I think, his son's career. His son being a musician, I believe a drummer. I could be wrong on that, but he's been busy with that. I follow him on social media, and he's always posting things up. But this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've actually got something somewhat concrete from Bret Michaels in regards to this tour or a tour.
Right.
Because you got to remember the last time they were on the road was in 2022, which is now 4 years ago, in support of Motley Crue and Def Leppard on that freaking massive stadium tour, where Poison was consistently getting kudos for being the best band on that bill.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't want to leave Joan Jett out of that as well, because Joan Jett was involved in that tour as well. But Poison was constantly getting everything, all the accolades. They weren't knocking the Crue or Def Leppard, but just the energy. If you've never been to a Poison show, you wouldn't understand. But a Poison show is it's electric. No pun intended. But it's full of energy. The crowds, they're party songs. This was the party band of the 80s.
Right. And I think Bret specifically wants to live up to that sound and that attitude. And he carries that swagger with him on stage, and he brings that energy. Even I'm not sure how old he is. Is he even 60 yet?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think even at his age, he wants to bring that energy, and he's someone that can. Not everyone can do that. We've talked about. We've talked about Dee Snider having to back out. Of course, he's a lot older, but still. Yeah. Standing up on stage and doing shows wasn't in the cards for him. But Bret's got the energy to do it.
And he's 63. Bret is 63.
Crazy.
But he's still, to put it bluntly, he's still kicking ass.
Looks great, sounds great still, and has the energy to run around like a crazy man and sing Poison songs.
This literally, he's like Sammy Hagar. Obviously Sammy Hagar is considerably older, but a rock star that has taken care of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And still able to go out there and do it. So yeah, really looking forward to that. As it's obviously seen, I can't wait for 2027. I don't want to rush 26, but looking forward to 27, especially if this tour comes out, because the potentially called 40+1 tour will be number one on my list for next year. Fingers crossed.
Would you travel?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Certain bands, very few, but certain bands might be worth 3 or 4 hours of a drive.
Whoa. You said travel. You didn't say how far.
Well, okay. If they were in, say, Missouri, St. Louis,
How far is
and
that?
it's about 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, too far.
What?
Yeah, I probably would. The only place I will
Maybe.
not go is I am not going to Nashville.
And why is that? Everyone else goes,
Yeah, pretty much.
right?
I hate the traffic in Nashville. I can't stand it.
It's busy all the time. That town
True.
is.
Yeah, I'll
Of
go
course.
if moderator Natalie drives.
There you go. All the drive. Well, wait. Do you trust her driving?
I trust her to moderate this show.
Do you? You fire her every week.
I didn't fire her last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah, because let's see, there's still 30 minutes that she could get canned in this one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But while we're on the subject of Poison
this is
and
interesting.
Bret Michaels, you literally just said that Bret Michaels is constantly busy. Well, let's go ahead and add one more thing to his busy schedule. As Bret Michaels will bring his signature high energy performance to the 2026 NFL draft, which of course will be held in Pittsburgh. And Bret Michaels is a Western Pennsylvania native. He was born in Butler, Pennsylvania. This will be following a sold-out performance at PNC Park and Star Lake Amphitheater, as well as recent NBC Sunday Night Football halftime performance of his timeless hit, Nothing But a Good Time, Poison's hit. He's now been invited not to get drafted, but to deliver his all-killer, no-filler show at the draft.
Yeah.
He will co-headline a special mashup performance.
Yes.
With special fellow Pittsburgh native. I can't believe I'm going to say this. And hip hop superstar Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, he talked about this. He's excited to mash up Poison songs with this stuff.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
Bret says he cannot be more honored, excited, and fired up to perform at the Pittsburgh 2026 draft. As a Western Pennsylvania native and lifelong Steelers and NFL fan, this is a dream come true. As a young diabetic,
fanatic, not just fan.
You're right.
He is nuts for the NFL and the Steelers. That's why doing this at the draft is a big deal for him.
Right.
In Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah, that would be congrats to him. It's usually pretty cool when they do stuff like this. Finally, it may not be the Super Bowl and a halftime performance, but we're actually going to get somebody that I will not mind watching perform at an NFL event.
This is I didn't know they did this, but this is night 2 of the draft. So his job is to provide entertainment to the fans, I think, that are assembled there, because you always have fans there at the draft,
right?
Hoping their team isn't stupid and drafts someone terrible, or booing a good pick. But they do it all the time. They do it all the time. So he's there to provide entertainment. I don't know who's there on the first night, but I didn't know this was a thing. But the NFL is always making these things into events. It's a year-round event.
Yeah,
all the time.
It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we will be watching the draft. I know I will. I'll be watching it from beginning to end, probably just to see where a few people go, especially number 1 draft pick Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana University, of course. Yeah,
who
will go to the Raiders, and I will immediately become a Raiders fan. I can't wait.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
But
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, congrats big time for Bret Michaels for getting that, because that is kind of a big deal. It's a big deal for him. Like you just said, it's a big deal for fans of Poison and or Bret Michaels. So it's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, I to just back up the point of what the NFL does, we just had the combine not that long ago. and that's an event. It's televised, and you can watch it, and all these pro days that are televised. To a point. IU just had one that was a big deal.
Yeah.
The draft is a big deal. Free agency is a big deal, right? The first week of March, we're all like, okay, what's going to happen now? With these teams, and then we've got training camp and mini camp and all this stuff, and it's all little markers that march to the season, and you don't get that with any other sport.
Right.
No other sport does it like this.
And I may or may not have watched the IU Indiana University Pro Day a while ago.
I didn't know it was going to be on TV or anything. Was it pretty cool?
It was great.
I need to look up some clips. I've heard good things.
Yeah. Phenomenal performances by all the players that were shown. Not to get into a sports tangent, if you're not familiar with Fernando Mendoza, he is the projected number 1 pick, of course, going to the Oakland Raiders from the Indiana University.
Oakland?
Yeah, I'm so not used to saying Las Vegas.
It's fine. I'm cool with it.
At least I
cool
didn't say the Baltimore Colts. When he threw his passes real quick, he was throwing to show his skill. But at the same time, he was utilizing the other people that had the potential of being drafted to showcase their talents as well. Stand-up guy, great character, unbelievable. So
he was calling out their routes, correct?
Yeah.
Beforehand, he would name, this receiver, this is the route he's running, this, and really pump up those guys too. And
exactly.
And the whole event was designed, to get those guys drafted, and he did his part because he knows he's going. He knows.
Without a doubt.
These other guys, we don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we know. I'm excited.
Well, we don't know. We don't know how high,
right, or how low.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll get off our sports tangent because you don't tune in for that, even though you're going to get it. Some more news coming out of the same era as Poison. Stephen Pearcy has officially announced his upcoming 6th solo album entitled The Dogg Mob. That is D-O-G-G, The Dogg Mob. And he has released I Need You, which is the first single from this album. The track features Stephen Pearcy on lead vocals and rhythm guitar, Eric Ferentinos on guitar, Matt Thorne on bass, and Blas Elias, who you will know from Slaughter, on drums, and an undisclosed special guest on guitar. According to Stephen Pearcy...
Nuno.
Oh, it's got to be, because Nuno's involved with everything. According to Pearcy, he says, "This song's on me. Download it before they charge you," which is obviously a dig to other bands who are charging you to get their new free song, or maybe they're charging you $2 million to get their album. Stephen Pearcy adds, "We've been writing some killer material the last few years. And they've been recording at MT Studio, shaping the sound, and they are fired up about this record. If you want to hear that first track, or first release, first single, it is, of course, called I Need You. That is the letter U, and it is Stephen Pearcy. Don't look up Rat. You have to look up Stephen Pearcy. I've listened to it. You can definitely tell it's Stephen Pearcy. It is one that is definitely worth checking out.
I thought it had just vibes of Rat, not directly Rat, but you could tell. You could tell who was doing it.
Absolutely. So it should be good. This is a good kick, a good single, a good taste of what's to come. I'm hoping that the rest of the album will kick ass.
I had no clue he had 6 solo records. No clue.
I didn't either.
It doesn't matter. He's the one that keeps busy.
Again, another band, another person from that era, still keeping busy doing their thing.
I mean, the only person other than him is DeMartini when they're together.
Right.
But I don't think Bobby Blotzer, since the lawsuits, I don't think Bobby Blotzer's been doing anything.
At least not with them.
At least, that I know of. So, good for him to keep this going and keep producing music.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that single is called I Need You. Check it out, Stephen Pearcy, and just wait. I don't even think we have a release date for that album. I didn't see one. I looked it up earlier, but I couldn't find it. But check it out. It's available wherever you stream your songs and music. Or I wonder if you can buy the single. Like, can you go buy it at a record store? Remember, you used to be able to get single cassettes.
The little cassette.
Yeah. I love those because the A side was whatever single, and then your B side was just like a record.
B-side.
Yeah, the B side. Because it had A
Yeah,
and B on it.
I still have a few of those laying around. They're my wife's, but I've kept all of her stuff.
So she has a few of those.
They're hers, but I have them stored.
Okay.
Protected.
Okay. That's why you're saying that they're yours.
I didn't say that. I said they're
hers. You said
I have them stored.
Okay. You left that
for her
to begin with. You left
it. Don't gaslight me.
Real quick, a quick little blurb, quick little story on the Black Crowes. There was a recent quote that Rich Robinson, who of course is part of the Black Crowes, actually the guitarist, he had a statement where he said, "We probably could have been a much bigger band if we had listened to people." And I know we've had a few people that are like, "Whoa, what in the world does he mean by that?" You know, what? It's the way you put the title of an article or a quote. Oh, you know, who are they calling out and all that stuff. It's literally nobody.
Right.
They recently released their latest album, their latest studio album, which is called A Pound of Feathers. They came out last month on March 13th. It's got 11 songs. They recorded over a 10-day period in Nashville, Tennessee. So the quote was really about the fact that they like making their music. The Black Crowes are not a band for everyone. Right. You and I went through that this week when you sent me a band to check out, and I was like, not a big fan. But that's like anything. They're not for everyone. So the Black Crowes, they've only made records that they want to make. And that's a profound statement because there are a lot of bands that make music because the studio or the label wants them to make this record. So what he says is we basically probably shot ourselves in the foot. We probably could have been a much bigger band if we had listened to people and tried to do the things that people do. But we are in it because we love music and we love the process and we love being in a band, playing, and we love being in the studio and making records and writing new songs. And so it's pretty amazing to sit back and look at 10 records. That statement in itself, they did it their way. I did it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you always have these people in your ear, especially early on, trying to shape your sound or tell you what to do. And I don't know if he means pre-Shake Your Moneymaker or after. I mean, that album alone, Shake Your Moneymaker, pretty much saved rock and roll when it came out. We talked about that a few weeks ago. But maybe they were trying to tell them, hey, do that again. Make that one again. Make that one again. And do it over and over and over. Then you get this redundant sound. And they're not built that way. They're going to put out what they produce, and this is what it is. And they did it their way. I get it. I don't know. There's all sorts of bands that have tried to find a sound to get even picked up. The Cars, but before the Cars were the Cars,
sure,
they were called Captain Swing, and it was a whole different thing. They before that, Rick Ocasek and Benjamin Orr put out a folk record type thing, a singer-songwriter thing, trying to figure that sound out. It takes time. Bands on the LA Strip were all thinking about being a new wave band,
right?
Because no one was picking them up. So you kudos to them for sticking to their guns, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to see the Black Crowes on tour, They are currently playing shows in Australia and Japan in April this month before kicking off a North American tour with Whiskey Myers and Southall on May 17th in Austin, Texas. I just thought that was
Love Whiskey Myers.
Really a cool story to bring up just because they readily admit, yeah, we did things the way we wanted to do. If you weren't already tired of hearing about...
Real quick, I've not listened to the last 2 records that the Crows have put out, but they get rave reviews, just so people know. Happiness Bastards got rave reviews, and so did, so far, A Pound of Feathers. Rave reviews.
I have not finished that one. I have started it. I've started it. I've got to finish.
Okay.
I'm like 3 songs in, so I got to continue.
Yeah.
If you're not already tired of finding out about tours, I have another one to announce, and this one may be the hottest and biggest tour of 2026. This may be one that Ace doesn't even know about. It is so important. Japanese pop metal band Baby Metal.
Yes, I saw this.
Celebrates Fox Day.
Wait, before you go further, I just want you to know, if it's in the article, notate who's opening for them.
I don't have an article.
Okay.
They celebrate Fox Day with the announcement of a 2026 North American tour with support from Viola to Vira, or Vera, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Hailstorm. That's right, Hailstorm. Hailstorm is opening for Baby Metal. If you are not familiar with Baby Metal, leave the show right now. We usually tell you to wait till it's over. No, leave right now. Go to YouTube. You can catch up with this show later and look up Baby Metal. They are a pop metal band from Japan. Their North American tour will kick off August 30th in San Diego, California. On September 5th, if you are interested and you are in the Indiana area, they will be at the Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville, Indiana. And they continue with many, many dates through September. They will also be at Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky, September 19th, along with a bunch of other bands that we've already talked about. And they will round it out, as of now, October 3rd in Sacramento, California. There's a few dates in there where My Chemical Romance will be the opener, so they will be supporting My Chemical Romance. But I was blown away at 2 things. And number one, if you're looking at these dates and you're looking at these places, they are playing most places like Ruoff, amphitheaters. We're not talking stadiums. These are amphitheaters. These are fun shows. If you have not watched anything that they have done, get online and watch them. This would be a fun show, other than the fact that you get to see Hailstorm as well. They have opened for Red Hot Chili Peppers, Korn, Lady Gaga. Just check them out. I forgot what the second thing was that I was going to mention about. I think it was probably just the whole Hailstorm thing.
That's so odd for them, but
it is.
And I don't know the logic behind them opening for them, but
who cares? Good for them. Good for them for giving Baby Metal their flowers. We will open for you.
Yeah.
We want $2.3 million, but we'll open for you.
Hailstorm just finished. They wrapped up over the weekend the Monsters of Rock show, the festival.
Brazil,
Monsters
right?
In Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil. And they were billed, get this, they were billed under Extreme, which was interesting. Well, Extreme is much more well known in Brazil than Hailstorm, who's only played there a couple of times. But
so you're saying they were billed over Extreme?
They were. So it went Roses at the top, Guns N' Roses, Skynyrd, Extreme, Hailstorm.
Okay, so they were billed under them, but still.
Yeah, they were. And there were 2 bands under that. So I just found that fascinating because Hailstorm's been around now about 20 years.
Right.
but still a much more current band. Whereas Extreme has not been active up until recently, the last few years, for quite some time. But the fact is, the Brazilian fans are much more familiar with Extreme than they are Hailstorm.
Right.
So hopefully that won them over some fans in South America.
I hope it did. This is Extreme, the same band that's going to be opening for Motley Crue this summer.
Yes, right, and that's the point. They would be opening for Hailstorm if they were in the States,
and they could easily, in my opinion, headline a show.
They could do a amphitheater tour, I bet.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I bet.
I kind of wish they would have went on tour with Sammy Hagar. I think that would have been a great mix of having Extreme and Sammy Hagar and that group, really, because I would want to see Joe Satriani and Nuno Betancourt on the same stage at the same time.
Yeah. One thing, though, that you didn't make comment on yet, you heard the other band I mentioned, right, at the top of the bill for San Paulo, Monsters of Rock, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner.
There's a reason I didn't bring it up, because I didn't want to talk about that.
I have nothing against Leonard Skinner, other than now they are virtually a cover band, much like Foreigner.
But Menudo.
But what is it about Leonard Skinner that the Brazilians are so attached to, that they're there for a reason? Because they're right now, that festival ended on Saturday, but Leonard Skinner stayed in Brazil because they're still headlining shows in South America. It blows me away.
If you are listening to this from Brazil, from the Monsters of Rock, why? What is the draw? And I'm not downing anybody.
No, I'm not knocking it.
What is the draw of Leonard Skinner and their classic Southern rock to Brazil?
Because look, the bill is GNR, Skinner, Extreme, Hailstorm, and then two other bands escape me at the moment. One was called Jailers,
okay.
And then there was another band, Dirty Honey.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So which one of these is not like the other? That's my point. They don't fit, but they fit at the top of the bill in São Paulo, Brazil. How do you say "play Freebird" in Portuguese?
Domos la bajano.
that was Japanese.
I don't know. Oh yeah. Obviously they're playing, some of their popular songs like Tuesday's Gone, Simple Man, and of course Freebird. And they're currently led by Johnny Van Zant. I don't know. Skinner is not for everybody unless you're from Alabama. It's a joke. Laugh. We just got canceled. But I don't, it's like you just said, I don't understand how that works. But kudos to them.
Yeah.
For pulling that off in Brazil. I think that's freaking great.
It was in a soccer stadium in Brazil, which is in Brazil, that's 50,000 people. So 50,000 people showed up.
Moly.
Yeah. And by the time Skinner went out, it was fully packed, sold out to see Leonard Skinner and Guns N' Roses. Skinner played 90 minutes. GNR played 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours.
So I'm going to take a stab at this. Think of those bands that are on that bill. Guns N' Roses, Extreme. Who else did you say? Dirty Honey. Who was
Hailstorm.
Hailstorm. Brazil
Extreme.
has one of the largest rock fan bases outside of the U.S. and Europe.
Yes. They are ravenous for rock and roll.
They love classic rock from the 70s and 80s. And I'm sorry, but Skinner falls right into that. Whether it's, heavy metal, hard rock, whatever, it's still Southern rock. So kudos to them.
Well, Kiss, the biggest concert they ever did, as far as attendance, was in Brazil, correct?
I believe so. And look at other superstars like Leather Leone.
Yes.
Which I'm actually surprised wasn't on this bill, but Do you still sing Sweet Home Alabama when you're in Brazil, or do you
Yes, you
switch it
do.
to Sweet
No,
Home Sao Paulo? I don't know.
no.
I don't have that answer. I think it's cool. I'm pretty stoked for them. I will try to go to the next one in
Let me
Brazil next
see.
year if we're allowed.
Rio. Okay,
Rio de
Rio de
Janeiro.
Janeiro is what I've got here. 1983, with an estimated 137,000 to 180,000 people. That's Kiss. So that was in Rio. So I was off a bit.
You were still close.
I was still close.
Yeah. Moving on to some other announced tours. We've actually already announced this one, sort of, kind of. We told you that Sebastian Bach was going to be filling in for Dee Snider and or replacing Dee Snider for a number of tour dates this year as he fills in for Twisted Sister. They have finally announced the first shows with Sebastian Bach on vocals. And of course, if you're worried or care, no, these appearances do not affect or conflict with Sebastian's current or future solo touring schedule. It remains fully intact. Only 4 shows have been announced so far with Sebastian's sister, or Twisted Bach. September 4th in Palmer, Alaska, at the Borealis Theater.
Isn't that crazy?
Aurora.
The first show is on the furthest outpost you can find in America.
Followed by a week later, September 12th in Durant, Oklahoma, October 8th at Niagara Falls, Ontario, and then October 10th in Windsor, Ontario. Pre-sale tickets for the newly announced shows will be available beginning actually today at 10 a.m. There is a pre-sale code. So if you're interested, those are just the first few dates that have been entered, just 4. I am positive there will be more.
Well, from what I understand, this is not going to be a full-blown tour in the sense that 5 days a week, that kind of grind.
Oh, yeah.
The guys in that band don't want that. This is going to be fly-in dates, drop in here and there, and they want to be able to still play music and still put on a show and have a front man that can, bring it when they need him to, and that's what this is. That's why you're seeing just a few shows announced, and they'll sprinkle more in, I'm sure, as we go.
Oh, yeah, 100% guarantee there. So that's very cool. There's going to be reviews after that first one, September 4th in Alaska. We'll get those reviews. So that'll be
in Alaska.
In Alaska. So that'll be good. Probably what I'm going to consider the most hyped news of this week, and we're probably going to end the show with this with about 7 minutes to go. Alice Cooper has a new guitarist, Nita Strauss, who has announced earlier this year that she was taking a break to welcome her first child this summer. Alice Cooper has, we'll say, replaced her with another female guitarist, this time Anna Cara from Newcastle, England, who has previously worked with the Swiss band with Mark Storis, who was from the band Crocus, and Tommy Henriksen, who of course is a guitarist with what?
Storocci.
Whatever, it's Storis. And Tommy Henriksen, who's the guitarist with both Alice Cooper and the Hollywood Vampires. Here's the kicker for me. Anna Cara is a 22-year-old bombshell. When I seen this information, I immediately went to YouTube, typed her name in. She has a page, went to it, and watched her just shred various solos and various songs in their entirety. Boy, she's good. She is good.
Well, I've not seen anything. I think this is interesting. That her debut will be April. Well,
it was.
Yeah, it already was. The 2nd through the 4th, with the Welcome to Our Nightmare shows in Vegas that they do with Chris Angel. So I don't know much about that show, but you've got a new guitarist playing Alice Cooper while you have a magician running around doing magic tricks. I don't know if that's a distraction for the crowd or a distraction for Cara, the new guitar player, but I think that would be a pressure test of sorts.
Oh, without a doubt.
Can you handle this? It's one thing to play straightforward rock in front of a lot of fans, but now you got a whole, ensemble group and a magic show and tricks and illusions. And was she even there? Or was it just a dream, an illusion?
Wait, what? Yeah, exactly. Now there's some sources that are saying that Nita found Anna to fill in for her while she's on maternity leave. For getting picked for this, Anna says this is like a dream come true to join Alice and his great band. Back when I started playing guitar at 14, remember she's only 22 now, so 8 years.
That's fast.
Right. She says, I was watching Alice Cooper live shows on YouTube, dreaming of joining him one day. Nita Strauss is a tough act to follow, and she's been so encouraging to me this past month. So I'm looking forward to showcasing and showing everyone who I am and what I can do. In turn, Nita Strauss has said, when I was asked in an interview who I thought was the best up-and-coming guitarist, I had no hesitation in answering Anna Cara. Anna's precision and soulful emotional playing will make her an amazing asset to the Alice Cooper tour. That's a lot coming from Nita Strauss, who's basically been with Alice Cooper for 12 years. That's huge.
What I like is that they found another female guitar player. I think that's important to the identity of the show. You already have two other guys that are fantastic guitar players, but they're more of a bluesy, classic straight sound, whereas Nita was always the shredder, right?
Right.
And finding someone else that can kind of step into those shoes and happens to be a female, I think is important. Because that's what we're used to now. Now we have a tradition, right? Because before that we had Orianthi. And from Orianthi, we went to Nita Strauss, who was the hot young guitar player, flashy guitar player at the time.
Who was recommended to Alice Cooper by Kip Winger.
Exactly, yes. And now we have this Anna Cara, who apparently, as you say, is fantastic, stepping into those shoes.
Yeah. Look her up. If you've not already, or this is your first time hearing about it, definitely do it. Right before we end this show, I do want to make a quick note. This is something that just came out recently. The band Nelson, the Nelson Brothers.
Yes, I almost sent that to you.
Just got signed to Frontier Records, and that's big news for them. So congrats to Nelson for that. As we ended last week, we talked about Lindsey Buckingham's alleged attacker, and to fill in the last 20 seconds of this show, his attacker is now facing 7 felonies.
7.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. Doesn't pay to stalk a rock star, but I will say this. You can stalk us. Maybe.